so many founders. First time encounter hatred, I get a call. As if I am the expert on getting hate. And I have like figured out a way to tell them and like, it's okay. Understand why are people hating you. It's what you've achieved and you have to understand that you have to deal with it. Right? So now it doesn't matter at all.
In today's conversation of Money Talks, I have none other than Kunal Shah, the man who is not just an entrepreneur, but for me, a very deep thinker. And I admire him more for his thoughts than all the lovely things that he's done in life, which are quite a list. And in today's conversation, we're going to talk about his relationship with money, something that I've never had a conversation with him about. Thank you so much, firstly, for coming in and sparing your time. Always a pleasure, to speak to you.
Thank you so much for having me, man. And it's good to be finally making it to the Ankur Warikoo channel.
No, and no shit, you're doing it with a condenser mic. For the first time, this is exclusive. Kunal Shah caught with a mic of his own. ये मैंने नहीं भेजा है. ये उसी का mic है जो वो खुद यूज कर रहा है.
किसी ने भेजा है. खुद से तो नहीं खरीदा, किसी ने भेजा है. So let's see how does it. Maybe I'll sound more deep thinker.
So you're now on your way to become a podcaster at some point of time. But no, I don't think you should. I'm glad you're nodding your head as well. Yeah, tell me this. How was it growing up? Did you grow with money, without money? Tell me about that.
I grew up in a sort of a joint family where my dad was the youngest of 7 siblings. And I guess the family was decently doing well before I was born. But by the time I was born, the family had suffered several financial losses. And by the time I was a teenager, the family had multiple cancer issues, multiple other health issues, which kind of wiped out most of the family wealth. And I think I remember when I was 14 or 15, we had to move to a 100 square feet house where it was me, my younger brother, and my parents. We lived, and I was too young to understand what was going on, but I just knew that systematically we were going in a worse situation. I had to start working from, 15, 16 full time because since dad did not do well, somebody had to take care of the house, and I was like doing a full time job by that time as a data entry operator. I still remember my salary was maybe 1,400 rupees a month, and that took care of the house. And I think after being a data entry while I was between data entry job, I also used to do other gigs. I used to teach people how to use internet. I taught them in many places like AppTech and VinTech and all these companies. I used to go and teach part-time. It's funny, I started learning about internet by teaching about it. And I've done all sorts of gigs. I've, built mixed CDs and did mehndi cones and sold some pharma goods here and there. So I think somewhat of an unhealthy relationship with money. And I feel fairly detached to money because of that.
There's one thing that I read some time back, which has stayed with me. And when you were going through your story, it reminded me of that. कि अगर तुम पैसे के बिना बड़े होते हो, then either of two things happens. Either you live the rest of your life running after money, or you end up going beyond money. And I thought a lot about what makes that difference. Because I've seen both sides, and I'm sure you would have as well. Like, जो लोग पैसे के बिना बड़े हुए, some people are just so obsessed with it that they spend their entire life thinking about it. And some people, like you in your admission, I also find myself in that same, that you get to almost like a middle finger approach towards money, कि पैसा कभी हमारे पे ऊपर rule नहीं कर सकता. What do you think made you go beyond money to the point that now it's almost like a servant to you, if you will?
I think when I was 15, 16, I remember my friend, he was teaching me how to ride a two-wheeler, and we used to go in the night. And I remember telling him that I will never work for money after I'm 35. And that's where I'm going to get there. And it's funny, I forgot about this till my exit with Free Charge happened at 35. And he remembered and he tells, Kunal, like you did it. And I'm like, what did I do? He's like, you told me how you will not work at 35. And funny enough, I was 35 when Free Charge exit happened. And it's funny how subconsciously some of these things work. And it's funny, I actually saw an interview of Shah Rukh Khan, and a very interesting thing. He talked about how he saw his sister fall at his dad's funeral or whatever, and she did not speak for like many years after that. And he told himself that I will never die the life of my live and die the life of my dad, who died without money. And I think he's just driven with no intent, but you just are escaping that dark part of your life. But there is no end to escaping, right? There is no end. So I think we're all constantly escaping. So after 35, at least what changed for me is that I started believing that I have to give it all back one way or the other. So I have no investments in anything else except startups. I just keep investing in startups. I don't care which stage I invest. I invest in series A, B, C, D. It doesn't matter. It is about being part of other people's journey, because I know what money means and not having money means. And I think people are too attached to that concept yet. Sometimes I look forward in my life that I become zero in life and I can start again and I have nothing to worry about and not to worry about this repetition and being Kunal Shah and all that stuff. It is mostly a burden. And this country will make people gods and we'll just kind of do a visarjan of them one way or the other. And I don't like it because I don't want to be this person. I want to be a builder and creator and person who's helping people achieve their dreams. But I guess we're all motivated by these archetypes and we chase them. So I don't know. I don't know if I really answered your question, but I've meandered around.
I love it. I love it. I love all the directions you took. And I have to share this with you. The one thing that has stayed with me about you, Kunal, is a Facebook post you had put after the Free Charge transaction. It was a photograph of the Mumbai Sea. And you had spoken about your dad's startup. And you had said कि बहुत साल पहले एक startup शुरू हुआ था and वो काम नहीं हुआ. And a lot of things happened because of that. And today, I have bought my parents a sea-facing apartment. And I don't know what about that post just has stayed with me, just perpetually has stayed with me. Because it was in so many ways a redemptive post. It was like this middle finger towards life, towards destiny, towards any other construct that is mostly socially constructed. And I began to saw you like that. Like it was no more a entrepreneur या एक ऐसा इंसान जिसने startup बनाया, बेच दिया, एक और शुरू किया, and so on and so forth. It was like this guy जिसके अंदर एक अलग ही जुनून चल रहा था, which perhaps he's never shared with anyone, and for the first time he's gone public and shared this. Because that was the same dream that I had, which was like, screw everything else. If I can just make my parents live a happy life after all the struggles that they've gone through it, I will consider myself successful, irrespective of what the world thinks. And I saw reflections of that as you were sharing, so I wanted to share that with you.
And it's funny. It's funny, Ankur, you're saying that till that time, I don't think I ever talked about how much of struggle I went through, because I don't think any of my employees at Free Charge know about it, or most of the career that I have had, because I didn't want people's sympathy.
Yeah.
Oh, bechara, this situation, or this. I thought that you have to build stuff on merit, and I don't think it gives you the true taste of life, right? Yeah. So I never really talked about these things because I felt that it'll look like some reality show के देखो पहले ऐसा था और उसका shoot हो रहा है and then अब अच्छा गाना गाता है types, and it's like, who's not had that, right? Yeah. And why take special credit for having a rough early life. We are a poor nation, and I'm sure everybody has a similar story. So why take credit for that? But then I spoke about it because I realized that maybe it might make more people dream. And I've spoken about it since then. I also tweeted about one thing that, and this is only two things that I've ever spoken about from my early life. One was very early days. I used to also be a delivery boy, by the way. I used to deliver things, and I remember not having fuel in my kinetic Honda that time, and going to a fuel pump and asking them, "Okay, yaar, थोड़ा ₹5 का भर देना." That time fuel used to be around 30 rupees a liter, and I said, ₹5 का भर देना, मुझे service में देना है. And actually, it was not service. I had to deliver something. I only had money to pay 5 rupees, and I still remember that petrol attendant filled more than 5 rupees for sure, and just smiled at me, and I've never found a way to thank him.
Yeah, that hits hard, man. That hits hard, and I see this like एक दुनिया जो बोल रही है कुणाल शाह एक स्टार्टअप इंडेक्स खोल रहा है, बना रहा है, or whatever the case may be. There is a side of me that sees कि यार there is something unfulfilled that you're trying to fulfill through this, but you're also running a startup, and that is a capitalist startup, as capitalist as it can be and should be. Do you have trouble reconciling these two often, or is it super clear in your head?
No, it's super clear. I don't feel at all, because I don't think of my investments as my monetization feature of life. It's a feature of giving back, and I'm going to figure out a way to kind of keep giving it back in some ways and not make it come to me. And it's disheartening when what happens is that all the hate you get on social media is also from entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs who have not managed to raise capital, entrepreneurs who have failed in their startup. And I understand that pain, because they look at this company, paisa raise kar raha hai, loss kar raha hai, and I have not been able to. And they want to give hate because they are hurt, right? And they are like, oh, this is a stupid startup. They have no clue. When I speak to them and ask them that, what do you know about the company? Do you know anything about what we do? Are you on the app? And most of them are not. But they want to hate because they want to see all of these companies fail.
Yeah.
But how will somebody else failing make me feel better? I don't understand this feeling. And I've never felt that about anybody. At Cred also, we'd never discuss about any company's fortune, misfortune, any founder's fortune, misfortune. Like, who are we to talk about these things, right? But I think in India, we've not understood capitalism. We've not understood how can loss-making companies can become big in life, and how things can be different. We've come from the 1.0 of creating businesses because we are celebrated way too much. You put Kunal Shah's picture in the newspaper, and I request so many times media companies कि team के डाल दो, logo डाल दो, कुछ मत डालो. But unfortunately, DAU of newspapers also come when they put people's pictures, right? And it's okay. I think we'll all figure it out.
Yeah, it is. It is. Do you remember any time, Kunal, where you were hating because you were hurting?
I was mostly defending when I was hurting, because when Freecharge exit happened, right? Investors made money. Team members made money. We never talked about wealth creation for the team because I felt like I was, I don't know, acting grandiose for their effort. Like, I'm not some king who gave them money. So, it's funny. My motivation to build Delta 4 framework came from that hate. I was like, why did I succeed? Why are most people failing? So let's understand the patterns behind that. And that's when I talked about that framework, so that more people can choose to build startups that can work and improve the chance of success. But even that was ridiculed. And it's funny, somebody told me that many US VC firms use Delta 4 framework in their onboarding session for the new team members. But India, people only mocked about it. And I'm like, you can tell me why it is stupid. You can show the flaws in it. You can help me understand that this is the things you have missed out. तुम तो idiot हो. या तो फिर तुमने तो और तुमने तो क्या किया. And I think I never understood. I'm like, why would you hate for no reason? And I think for them, you become an object. I'll tell you what I have noticed also, right? Like I go sometimes on the street, I ride a scooter. I have people who like come and want to take a selfie, and I would sometimes not be in a place to. I'm like, can we skip it? And they would like try to hold you and just catch it as I'm some object. I think that's what happens. Success converts humans into objects that we feel distance from, we feel hatred towards, we feel inspired towards, but they are unfortunately people like us. So, and that's the one part I've not fully understood yet. I'm trying to. It's funny. I wrote to one celebrity who I know, who's from Bollywood, and I got to know him from a very different reason. I have never gone for any of my ad shoots in life, and I don't know any celebrities, and I've not met even this person. And I asked this person that, hey, what do you do when people do this kind of stuff? And he's like, you just have to keep your distance and say sorry sometimes, and just remember that they are just selfish to take what they want. You are like a zoo sighting of safari that they've had, and they want to capture it and show it to the world that they caught. And I'm like, okay. And that's when I truly felt like an object. And I think that's where I found that we find a lot of joy in people failing.
Yeah. That German, the German word Schadenfreude.
Yeah.
Schadenfreude, which doesn't have an English equivalent, by the way. You're finding joy in other people's pain.
Yeah.
When you were growing up, Kunal, was there like a number in your mind which you had to get to by 35 for you not to work for money anymore?
I think till I don't know, honestly, Ankur. I just knew that keep your needs basic, and there should be enough money that you can survive with. I still have very basic needs. I don't have any fancy shock in life. I've told 3-4 people in life I'm playing all in my life. So agar sab kuch khatam ho gaya, to you will give me again starting capital to start again. And they've agreed. Yeah, like go. It's okay. Right? And the thing is, I live my life that way now. Right? It's the thing is that I will only operate with that mindset that assume nothing is possible. Assume that and I look forward to it's so weird that you look forward to getting to zero. That you can start again.
Do you want to start again for yourself because you get a kick out of it, because you're a builder, or some other reason?
Yeah, I would love to be a builder and not carry on this reputation of being this person and all of that. And I know it's a stupid thought, and I understand and realize the stupidity behind this thought. But the thing is that the freedom you have of doing things, approaching things. Imagine I can carry the wisdom that I have acquired to start again, and not the curse of reputation and all the other things that you have to be. That's a bit of a pain. So I think about those things for sure.
But like performance pressure bhi hoga, right? Ki I remember meeting you, I think it was 2016, 2017. You shared with me the idea of Cred. I thought it was very powerful and very interesting that from free charge, mass market, you were going into a completely different direction, top 1%. And I'm sure at the back of your mind, कहीं ना कहीं तो होगा यार, अगर लोगों को लगा कि free charge शायद एक तुक्का था, then I have to somehow do something which makes it repeatable. Now you've proved it again. But that is again a cycle that never ends, right? Because अब 2 पे भी लोग बोलेंगे चलो तुक्का हो गया, अब तीसरा नहीं हो पाएगा, चौथा नहीं हो पाएगा, and you're riding a tiger that you can't afford to get off.
I honestly don't think that anymore, Ankur. I've realized that people are unhappy because they are not able to achieve versus what you are doing, right? Who would not want to be in your place, in my place? So what's the point? And I think the framework is that I rather take feedback of people who've done more than me or struggled more than me or suffered more than me in life versus people who are waking up and feeling good in their life by putting people down, right? And unfortunately, our ecosystem, our media ecosystem has not learned like how to like. I think we celebrate people too much, right? Oh, unicorn bana diya, फिर अभी उसको उनका विसर्जन करेंगे. And the thing is that let's be reasonable, right? There are so many more profitable companies. Ankur, you are running a profitable company now, and it's made more profit than all of your previous companies put together, right? So why is there no more celebration for people like you? Then why do we need to celebrate all these funded guys? And why are they national badges, right? So the thing is that, but we make them the badges, then we obviously have to scrutinize and criticize them. So, but that's the reality. You have to accept it. And I used to always feel about, yeah, but why me? Why hate? And I now so many founders. First time encounter hatred, I get a call. As if I am the expert on getting hate. And I have like figured out a way to tell them, and like it's okay. Like it's understand why are people hating you, and it's not what you're doing, it's what you've achieved, and you have to understand that you have to deal with it, right? So now it doesn't matter at all, right? And even compliments don't matter actually now. I don't think you can ignore just hate.
Yes, that's the key.
You have to ignore all the so I have like told my team, I will not go for any award. Please respectfully say no. No celebration, no halla gola about getting something. Oh, this man of the year, that thing of the thing, under 40, under whatever. Just stay away from everything. That's when you can truly enjoy. No hate, no love.
Yeah, that's so true. I love that you shared this, because it is impossible to feel or ignore one side of the equation while continuing to love or go after the other. And then people make that big mistake. Like बहुत बारे लोग मुझसे भी पूछते हैं, as a content creator, how do you deal with all the hate and the troll? And the honest answer is you deal it by just committing yourself to the process and not taking anything to heart, including the appreciation. You thank them respectfully, just the same way that you would thank someone's feedback that is contrarian to you or is hurtful.
Yeah, the truth is, like, you can make all the fun of Ankur as much as you want, and you can make fun of him writing threads and not writing threads. The truth is, he's making crores and crores of profit every year.
Okay, tell me this. What's your... You seem to not be a micromanager. Would that be the right assumption?
Yeah, I am not.
How do you spend your time then? What do you spend your time on?
I wish I could spend more of my time reading, knowing, learning. Mostly spending time in improving people. Because if people improve and have the steepest growth with you, then product company theek hi ban jayegi, right? So I invest on people as assets more than product as assets.
Awesome. What's the most undesirable part of your day?
That's a great question. I don't have a specific type, but I think we can all assess energy. Which meetings gave you energy and which meetings drained your energy?
And let's say you are in the middle of a energy sucking experience. Are you the kind of person who would confront and cut it, nip it in the bud, or you would just let it pass and take yourself out of the equation?
I usually cut short of those meetings. Earlier, I would feel very bad that somebody's giving an interview and how can I end it so quickly? They've committed an hour. Now I'm like, life kitni short hai. Imagine, like, for some reason we disappear and we're like, last week kya kiya? Like, ये 4 घंटे का इंटरव्यू किया था जो काम का भी नहीं था. So I think I've come to terms with that.
Awesome. Slightly off topic question. Do you know how much money is there in your bank right now?
No idea. I don't know that. I don't know off top of my head how many companies I've invested in or how much I've invested in that company. I have no clue.
I have to tell you, and I'm sure you know of this already. मुझे इतनी कहानियां पता है of founders who would call you up for product advice or something. You will love the product, and you'll be like, "Hey, can I invest?" And they'll be like, "Kunal, you've already invested in a company." That was so funny. I was like, "Boss, ये तो this is arrival of a different sort." And you like all of this folklore जो मीडिया में हमें सुनाई देता है कि Kunal Shah decides in like 15 minutes, first call, फिर ये 10, 20, $30,000 का check and all that. How much of it is real? I won't be surprised if it is, but like what's your operating model when you think of investing?
I on an average invest around $50,000 to $100,000, and earlier I used to spend time. Now I don't spend time evaluating because क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है कौन सा you can predict anyways, and you look at people and you see that okay ठीक है यार, like big deal, like worst case scenario they'll fail, and so many people have bet on you, right? So a lot of people think that they are self-made in life, but we're all built because of contribution of thousands of people. So थोड़ा contribution कर भी दिया तो क्या ही फर्क पड़ता है. And Ankur, the truth is, जिसको ज्यादा advice चाहिए उसका कुछ company बनता ही नहीं है.
Yeah.
It's so weird. They're inversely correlated, right? And therefore I get very scared for people who are constantly looking for mentors in life. And there is a strong correlation that mentor seeking is going to most likely create nothing out of your life.
No, and the belief that there is someone out there who has a solution to your problem.
No, Ankur, I'll tell you it's what it is. See, हमने एग्जाम पढ़ाई की और हमको ट्यूशन में इम्पोर्टेंट क्वेश्चन मिल जाते थे. उतना पढ़ाई कर लो तो so the coaching class DNA is not gone. So we are looking for important questions. एक कोई डाइजेस्ट दे दो मुझे कि क्या लाइफ, हाँ लाइफ की कुछ एक समरी दे दो, बस ये नोट्स जेरोक्स करा दो इसके, राइट? एक एपिक शिट बुक भी पढ़ लो और life unlock.
So true. So this word kunji is a North Indian term. This is basically a booklet that contains the answers to the last 10-year questions. And हर एक एग्जाम से पहले बच्चों को बस ये चाहिए यार कुंजी मिल जाए, क्योंकि कुंजी मिल गई तो एक रेपिटेटिव पैटर्न है और उसी के बेसिस पे सब आ जाएगा, which is frankly true as well. So people scored, and you're so right that DNA has not gone, and that is why listicles, right? जब भी मैं बोलता हूँ कि यार everyone's like यार वो एक चीज जिसने आपकी जिंदगी बदल दी, वो एक चीज जिससे आपको like वो एक आइडिया है, like भाई एक नहीं होता है. Like that's the fallacy you fall for, which is to believe कि जिंदगी में एक चीज करने से सब कुछ बदल जाती है. Everything is a continuum. There's no listicle in life. There are no 3 things that you do that will make you a billionaire. Everything is cause and effect का misunderstanding. But yeah, वो causality तो different है. Okay, and I want to come to the end to be respectful of your time. One is you said that you are a man of not too many needs, and largely your desire is to be a builder, to of course help other people build. What's the most expensive thing that you have bought in life so far?
I recently just got a car because cab nahi milti ab. But that's about it. I don't have many expensive things in life. I feel like sometimes Gen Z about it. I spend more on experiences than things. And I do believe that's a better way of creating memorable experiences, and experiences make us better. What if you could go to great places but you are not allowed to take any pictures? Would you still enjoy? Why do we need to capture everything? Why are we going to a music show and thousands of people are recording? अरे वो तो YouTube पे देख लेंगे, आपका recording का क्या जरूरत है? नहीं, मैं यहाँ था, मैं इतना पास था आर्टिस्ट के, 4 फीट दूर था मैं. And this whole social signaling makes me super confused about it. That what are we really doing? And it's funny, Ankur. There's one more thing about relationship with money. Because I've not had money for most of my life, spending is very hard.
Yeah, man.
But investing is not. It's so weird, right? I don't even think about investing large amounts of money. But if I have to spend, I don't know, on expensive hotel to stay or buying something, and I'm like, iska kuch ROI nahi hai, and I go into my EA is just brain fried on amount of time I spend in trying to do this optimization of cost of flights and all of that. And I think it's rooted in spending on yourself because of the unhealthy relationship of money.
Yeah. So true, man. So relatable. So relatable. Like I often have this conversation with friends of mine who are now in money. After a point of time, you don't know how to spend money, boss. What will you spend on? तुम कितने घर खरीद लोगे अगर तुम खरीदना भी चाहते हो? कितनी गाड़ियां खरीद लोगे अगर तुम खरीदना भी चाहते हो? Like you will, and those are useless things in your admission, and I so agree with that. And even if you had to travel and be in the most expensive places and so on, it's ridiculous how little we actually need than what we think we do. So one favorite question of mine that I often ask my audience is, तुम पैसे के पीछे भाग रहे हो? And these are mostly 18 to 24-year-olds, so they are in that phase in life. How much money are you running after? Like, do you have a sense of it? And there are two more extremes. One is 500 crore से नीचे है ही नहीं. Like 500, 1000, 2000. And the other one is this complete lack of understanding of what it takes to actually live life. They'll be like 15 lakh, 20 lakh, which is way more than where they are right now, but they have zero understanding of how life unfolds over a period of time. And like, boss, एक तो तुम्हारे पास अगर 500 crore होंगे ना, give me a plan of how you'll spend it. You have no idea how to spend 500 crores. And if you have 15, then you have no idea what life entails for you. And I often tell, like, my team is meant to go through this, and I did that with myself when I was 23. मैंने एक प्लान बनाया कि मुझे जिंदगी में क्या क्या चीजें करनी है और उसको करने के लिए मुझे कितना पैसा चाहिए. जिस दिन वो मेरे पास पैसा आ गया, I know that I'm financially independent. उसके बाद whatever money I'm working, it is not for my needs, not for my wants as well. It's for a very different purpose which I may encounter, but I don't know of.
I think another game to think about on how to think about money is that if your investments or your passive income can make more money than you can make on your salary,
that's it.
Compete karo apne aap se.
Correct.
Right? And ultimately you lose anyways because compounding. But I think that's the way to think about it. But the bigger issue is that our need to be popular is a lot more than our need to be rich. And that's a real challenge. And I think that curse is going to take a long time to get away with.
Yeah, so agree, man. Awesome. 3 rapid fire questions and we'll bring this to a close. 1, pick between money and power.
Money, man. Who wants power? Power corrupts always.
Awesome. Number 2, what do you think, and it could be an experience as well, what do you think will be your most expensive purchase in life, Kunal?
I like I told you, my apartment I bought for my parents. I think that will be the most expensive purchase.
No plans of space travel or anything?
No, boss. इतना भी लाइफ अपना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है कि एक दूसरे प्लैनेट पे लेके आके उधर भी जाके कबाड़ा करके आ जाए.
I love it. Okay, then go on.
No, I'm just saying that we are not so special, man. Like we should not go and ruin another planet.
Oh, okay. I give you 2 choices and pick one. I give you $1 billion right now, or I make you 20 knowing everything that you know today.
That's a good one. I'll take the second option.
I think you'll make way more money. Not that it's important, but you'll make way more money if you were 20 again with what you know.
No,
Awesome,
I think I'm actually not solving for money. I'll just have a lot more energy to do things, man.
Like you'll be like, who wants to be Warren Buffett at 93 with whatever money he has?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. Thanks for being so candid. I saw a very different side of you, and I love that side. I'm sure my audience will also as well. Thank you for doing everything that you're doing. I remain a big fan for not so much the reasons that the world sees you for, but for reasons that I genuinely believe you have worked hard towards. And that will always show in the kind of thoughts you have and how you share them with us. So thanks for sparing time.
Thank you for having me and keep doing epic shit, dude. Bye-bye.
Thank you, man. All the best. Bye. YouTube Shorts के लिए एक डेडिकेटेड चैनल लॉन्च किया गया है जिसपे आप सिर्फ वो 60 सेकंड के शॉर्ट्स देख सकते हैं. नो लॉन्ग फॉर्मेट कंटेंट टू कंफ्यूज यू एंड होपफुली those 60 seconds will help you just as much as these long format videos do. सब्सक्राइब करिए, पिन कमेंट और डिस्क्रिप्शन में लिंक है to the Warikoo Shorts channel.